There is a difference when manifesting between releasing and letting go. Knowing the difference between the two can help you understand how your manifestations work, and importantly, will it work? In short, it is a difference between letting go of attachments and releasing blockages that can hinder your manifestations. Let's get into it. Namaste, Sacred Masters. I'm Dr. Iwas Kehi, Shadow Work NLP Manifestation Coach, and I'm here to help you with your shadow work and manifesting questions, as well as give you tips on new ways you can practice your self-growth. So don't forget to subscribe for Grobovia numbers on Tuesdays, pick a card shadow work on Thursdays, and shadow work manifesting tips on Sundays, so that you don't miss anything that can improve your life and find your light in the darkness. Today, we are going to talk about releasing. This also includes clearing out old energy, as well as getting rid of unwanted ones, which I will show you how in a bit. This is particularly important because a lot of times when we are manifesting with a lot of old energies. Sometimes they can come up as blockages. These blockages are what literally stops us from manifesting. You want to manifest money, but you have a blockage that forbids it. You are trying to find love, but you attract the wrong type of person each time. The list goes on. No, one of the key elements in manifesting is this term called letting go. I want to make a distinction between the two. Letting go means to let go of your attachments to your outcome, what you want in your manifestations. You let go of your attachments to how you think it will arrive. You trust the universe to do its job, and it most certainly will. The only times your manifestations don't come, or if they do come, it is not what you expected, is when you have energy blockages. These are old stories, energies within us that we have not gotten rid of. Remember, we are all vibration, and everybody, including you, have your own unique vibration. Inside of you, you have energy both on the light spectrum and the dark spectrum. Now, imagine this is you for a moment. And let's say inside of you, you have both light and dark energy. And when you manifest and put your wishes out into the universe, your desires utilizes your energy. Your desires gets its power from the energy radiating with you as it goes out into the universe to fulfill your desires, whether they be conscious or subconscious. This is why there are some people who manifest money only to lose it later. There are people who manifested a car only to have it break down later because they made a bad deal at a used car lot, or their relationship turns out to be toxic. So first, we have to know where these energies come from. These energies come from experiences and stories we have created in our heads. What do I mean by that? The energy stored within us usually comes from the stories we tell ourselves that define who we are. This is what we consider to be our inner truth. For example, a person who has a parent look at his report card with an F and say, "You are really stupid," creates a story within this person, and he begins to take the story of "I am really stupid" to be truth. What happens is that if he does not clear out his old energies, his old stories, and replace them with new ones, no amount of work he does will ever meet with a success that requires intelligence to perform. Does this mean he is stupid? No. It is only because he is telling himself that, which is what is stopping him. When we tell our friends that we want this $10 million house, if your friends say that you are crazy, you may subconsciously pick that energy up, create a truth within you that you can never afford expensive things, and no matter what you do from then on, you will never manifest anything that could allow you to buy the nice and expensive things that you want. Even something as simple as a person telling you that you're always late in your bills when repeated over and over again creates a truth within you that you may not even know exists. This could be why when you try to manifest, the money comes, but the money comes late. Because your energy spectrum, based on your truth within you, states that this is the truth, and thus money must come in late to reinforce this truth. So, How do we go about clearing our old energies and bringing in new ones? This is time to bring out your shadow work journals and begin some dark introspection. The first thing I want you to do is begin to write what you know is true now. Don't write about what you want to be true, write out the god-awful honest answer. Do you want to manifest a lot of money, but deep down you're trying to ignore the low bank account, the rising bills, etc.? Begin to take an honest account of everything. Remember, if you're not honest, you're fooling yourself. Hide your real truth, and no matter what you do, you will be using those old energies because you have not even identified them. Gurus who tell you to ignore the present may be right, but if you don't do your shadow work, you will remain stuck in a never-endless loop. Let me give you an additional tip on how to find these old stories that are hindering you. Look at your manifesting journals and see what you've been asking for but never got. Or if you got it, it's not exactly what you want. Really start to go back, and you realize whenever your manifestations don't come, you know there's a blockage. Take that manifesting desire and begin to dig deep into what story you have claimed as truth that is stopping you now. It may be something that happened so long ago in childhood that you've forgotten about it, but you're going to have to do it. Find a nice quiet spot that is distraction-free and really dig deep in. Once you have made your list, I want you to ask yourself, which of these stories do not serve me anymore? Which of these stories can I let go of? Which of these stories are the old me and not the me right now? Once you know what it is, I want you to sit down and close your eyes. Go back to that time when you created that story. It could be one event. It could be many different events. It could be when you were chastised when you were young, so you took that story as your own. I want you to relive those experiences and feel where those stories live. Most of the time you'll get a sensation in your stomach, but sometimes it's on the neck or heart. And then by using your breath work, begin to breathe out these experiences and say, this story does not serve me anymore. These are old stories. Thank you for the experience. I love you. Goodbye. Do this ritual for as many times as you need until you feel those memories and experiences seem like fiction now and another person. For deeper rooted problems, it can take a few tries and maybe some shadow child healing. But if you do the work, it will pass. Once the old story has been banished, the next step is to create a new one. This is where the fun part begins. Begin writing down what your new story is going to be. Are you attracting more money or more love? What type of income would you like? What type of relationships would you like? You can be as specific as you want. Now, look at your list, and you'll find something incredible. What you are trying to manifest exists already. It exists because you obviously thought about it and you desire it. But where do those stories come from? Was there a past experience you had when you came across a large sum of money? Did you experience some of the most profound love from someone? I want you to relive those experiences now, because you're telling your subconscious and energy spectrum that this is the truth now. And it's truth because you've experienced it and you felt it. You want to keep doing this until your subconscious knows without a doubt that this is the new truth. And then, when you begin manifesting, your energies will utilize these truths and put it out there in the universe so that you can receive the abundance that you deserve. When you decide something is truth, then the universe has to make the reality fit into your story. And you can only do it when you release an old story. You cannot combine two different stories. Imagine if you're watching a movie and see an inconsistency in a story. You get taken out of the movie and probably criticize it, right? In screenwriting, it is called story loophole. The story is incomplete and fragmented and all over the place. If the universe had to try and figure your story out, guess which one it will pick? The truth your subconscious holds on to, not your conscious mind. So, begin your shadow work, and prepare for this new incredible journey. So that's what releasing is. Old stories and replacing them with new ones. I want you to comment below to tell me, what is your new story? I want you to affirm this statement, and if you can, tell me an experience you had in the past that makes it truth. When did you get an A for a test? When did you get a raise? How did you feel when you got your first car? What was your favorite date? By writing it down, you can really expand upon it as truth. You're not just visualizing, you're also feeling, and now writing and reading it too. You're engaging all of your senses, and it slowly turns from imagination into truth. Take 1 week and try to do it on your own. If you need help because your old story is deep within your past and you need to do some inner child or shadow child work, as I call it, you can check out this link to my shadow work course. If you're still having trouble, you can watch my Remove Blockages meditation video I will upload next week, which I'll link on here when it's ready. I'll see you there. Namaste.